Hey Libra, welcome to your weekly forecast for April 15th to the 21st. Happy Holy Week for those of you who observe. I'm going to say happy Easter for those of you who observe. We're coming up on the full moon. In honor of the holiday, I've got my special guest here. Love of my life, my main man. And I'm using a really cool artsy deck this week because I felt like it kind of like fit in with the holiday. It's kind of like churchy type art. So if you want more info on the deck, as always, I will have a link in the description. Okay, so I shuffled there. Here's your Monday, Tuesday, Libra. Your Wednesday, Thursday. And your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So let's see what's going on for our Libra friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And your Monday, Tuesday, Libra, is Three of Swords. You may be a little bit sad about something, but I don't know why. I feel like this is coming in with some kind of like knowledge, okay? I don't typically focus too much on love readings in the weekly forecasts. I do have a link in the description of the video to the April love videos, and I am going to be doing the mid-month I'm gonna do a cross-watcher series in a couple of days for those of you who are looking for like really like in-depth love info. But I do feel for some of you the Three of Swords is connected to a matter of the heart, whether it's romantic or whether it's something having to do with family. But for whatever reason, intuitively, I feel in the beginning of the week, Libra, some of you are receiving some news, or you're processing news that you recently received. So you may be seeing signs in a way that somebody was not truthful towards you, or you may be seeing signs or receiving confirmation that maybe someone that you were hoping for has moved on into another relationship. But this is what I have to say, guys. It's not all terrible. Don't be sad. Don't get discouraged, because for me, Three of Swords has always been a card where something is being shown to you because Spirit is directing you to a greater happiness, right? It's kind of like when you're a kid, right? And maybe like you're walking down the street and you see like this, you know, lollipop that's on the side of the road, and it's like, you know, been sitting out there on the sidewalk collecting germs, and you're a little kid, you don't know, you want to run over and grab it and like stick it in your mouth, and your parents like, no, you know, like, you can't do that. And you don't understand. You're just like, why is mom or why is dad being such a jerk? Like, why can't I have that delicious red lollipop? You don't understand bacteria. You don't understand germs. And you could, like, throw a hissy fit. You could throw a temper tantrum for it. Meanwhile, your parents, like, trying to say, no, I'll take you to the store. We'll get better candy. We'll get ice cream, whatever it might be. Like, you don't want that lollipop, right? So I think for some of you, some truth is coming out where it's like, you don't want that lollipop, right? And you might be sad to see the truth about it, you know, but it's happening in a way for many of you as a protection. Okay, you're being protected from something, or you're just, you know, and maybe it's not a bad person or a bad situation, but it may not be the right one for you. It may not be compatible for you, okay? And so something better is coming. You just have to trust and know that anything that has been removed or has been presented to you, that it's time to move, it's in your best interest. It's in your protection of going in this new direction. Okay, I do feel for the majority of you, this is going to have to do with friendships. I think that some of you had some people that maybe steered you wrong or gave you some bad advice, and you might be looking now that I shouldn't have listened to that person because maybe they were telling me this because they were jealous of me, or they thought I had a good thing going for me and they like made me sabotage it. So you might have some sadness, but Spirit wants you to know whatever maybe you feel that you lost in that process, whatever is truly meant for you, whatever is in your highest good will be. So if it's meant to circle back, it will. But if it's not, something better is coming. So whatever is happening with these revelations, or anybody that you're preparing to release, though it may sting, in my experience, typically Three of Swords, it can be a very, very like deep sting, but it doesn't last very long. Like, I don't know if you guys hear that kid screaming from outside. Yeah, so again, that's exactly what Three of Swords is for me. It's like that wailing kid, you know, like they lost their balloon, or they were running and they fell and they got hurt. And they may be in that thing of where it's just the end of the world and they just want to scream and let it out. But typically they'll calm down pretty quickly, right? And that's what Three of Swords is for me. It's an intense feeling, it's an intense reaction, but it will pass fairly quickly. I have a feeling that as we go into the other cards, they're going to probably be a lot lighter than the Three of Swords, but we'll see as we move forward. Your Wednesday, Thursday, Libra, is Countess of Cups. Sure enough, my darling, sure enough. So here we are, Countess of Cups. This is a very loving, nurturing, beautiful, beautiful, attentive energy, okay? So some of you may be receiving some comfort from a mother or a mother-type figure. Some of you may be dealing with a water sign, a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer energy, or some of you have this in your chart, or some of you are bringing this element or energy into your chart, because Queen of Cups is very, very nurturing. Queen of Cups is very, very loving. So whether it's you connecting and comforting yourself and connecting with your intuition, or whether it's an energy in which you have somebody coming in and providing you with comfort and love, or you're reconnecting with a water sign, there is some support coming in for you midweek. Another thing that I'm going to say, my dears, is as we're coming into the Libra full moon on the 19th, you all may be feeling that energy very strongly and very deeply, because you are Libras after all. But a lot of the energy with this full moon is going to be about polarities. It's going to be about polarities. It's going to be about us wanting to be in our security and being able to see what in our life is affecting other aspects of our life, either in positive or negative ways. So you may be seeing, again, something that maybe were a little bit toxic, or some things that maybe were not very good for other areas of your life when it came to emotional needs being met, when it came to love relationships, when it came to family relationships. So some of you are beginning to adjust your focus over into emotional fulfillment, okay? I think maybe some of you got caught up with, trying to run with a certain crowd or trying to impress certain people, or you were really, really focused on physical stability, like material stability, and now you're coming into an energy where you're looking for emotional stability, loyalty, friends, family, love, nurturing, spirituality, all of those things. So the focus of stability is changing a little bit for some of you Libras. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Libra, is Six of Cups. So a lot of you are coming into this nostalgia, okay? A lot of you are coming into this energy where you're thinking about your past. Some of you are wanting to reconnect with people from childhood. Some of you are wanting to reconnect from people from your past. Libra, I don't know why, and this is probably not going to be for every single one of you. Sometimes what happens during a reading is I'll get a very, very strong message come in, and it's a spirit really trying to direct my attention either to one specific Libra or a certain group of Libras that are kind of going through something very specific at this time. But Libra, I feel that some of you feel like you're judging yourself, or you're blaming yourself that you got carried away, that like you got some kind of a big head and you thought you were a big shot, or you thought that you were going to be some kind of a big shot, and that in the process you lost some important relationships, important friendships, important things. And there's this feeling or this desire of like, the prodigal son, which is a biblical proverb. It's like the prodigal son is like, there's this man and he's rich and he's got two sons, and one like listens to him and helps him in the business, and the other son's like, I want my inheritance now, and I'm going to go live my life, and I'm going to do my thing. And he goes out there and he's partying, and he's with like all these hookers, and he's doing like all of his stuff. He's drinking, he's doing everything, and he blows through all of his money, right? And he ends up having nothing, and then he ends up coming back and saying, Dad, I'm so sorry, please let me come home, right? And the dad doesn't say, listen, you jerk, listen, you idiot, you squandered your inheritance, get the heck out of here, you embarrassed me. The dad says, I love you, I'm so happy that you're back, thank you so much for like returning, and like just embraces him with open arms and says, okay, like come on home, pick yourself up, you'll start all over again, you'll learn from your mistakes. So I'm getting that kind of energy with some of you, where you're just coming into this energy where you're feeling like you're returning to simpler times, like you're clearing yourself of ego, and you're coming into this thing of forgiving yourself for any mistakes that you made, or forgiving yourself if you feel like you got caught up with materialism or whatever it may be. But you're coming into this energy of just this joy and this, you know, returning back to the basics, the things that really matter, the truly important things in life. And so there's a sense of fulfillment coming in, right? But the main thing here is stop judging yourself, stop blaming yourself. You did the best you knew how in, you know, in the moment that you were in. And that's life. We live and we learn, right? But you're coming back into really good, stable, loving energy, right? You see that beautiful pool of water there, right? So that emotional connection is coming in, right? You see the kids playing, you see the ladies talking, you see, you know, the kids on the camel, you see the, you know, just everybody's just kind of happy, right? Everybody's kind of happy. So some of you are returning to a happier, more simple way of life, or maybe even taking a trip. Maybe you're taking a trip to a childhood home, or you know, whatever it may be, but you're coming back into that simpler energy, which sometimes Six of Cups can be about dwelling in the past, but very strongly, intuitively, I feel some of you are just returning back to the basics. You're going back, resetting to traditional values, many of you. All right, my dears? So be sure to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos as well. Some weeks those are going to resonate with you more, or they may bring a little extra elements into, you know, your reading depending on what your planetary makeup is. You may need a private reading, which I am always more than happy to do for you. There's a link in the description of the video that will take you to my Calendly online calendar, and then you'll be able to schedule your reading. Some of you have been asking me about specials, when I'm going to do another special. It's going to be a few months, because I'm very, very touched and positively overwhelmed by how many people responded to the last special, but it booked my calendar like 3 months in advance, and I'm just now starting to get caught up, and I need a little bit of a breather before I, you know, take on that many readings again. But I do have affordable readings. I have readings starting at $20. I mean, there's definitely still some good deals there. And $20 is probably going to be a lot cheaper than, you know, the other reading rates anyway. So, you know, I will announce another special, but it's not going to be anytime soon, okay? But I do have affordable options right now in this moment. You don't have to wait months and months to book. But that schedule is up there as well. Cross-watcher video is coming up in a couple of days. Be sure to hit subscription and notification if you haven't already, and you'll get a notice when those videos are up, my dears. I'm wishing you a happy full moon. I'm wishing you a happy Holy Week. Those of you who observe Easter, wishing you a happy Easter, and I'll see you in the dailies.